Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. So, this week has been really rough and very expensive, but I've learned my lesson and I have changed my portfolios to be more conservative and hopefully, like I have been saying that I want to do, making it more conservative. And the process, and I just sat down and I was trying to put together a video about LFGY versus blocks, but I have been obsessed looking at Robinhood all day, and at like 3:30 p.m. I was like, this is enough. I am over this. I overestimated my confidence at doing my own options, and this is too expensive and I need to fix this. So here's how I fixed it. I went on to YieldMight, okay? And I have my portfolio, and I wound up manually doing this just now, but you can export the shares that you have, and you can get a sample of what we're looking for, but it's just the ticker and the number of shares. And so if you look at this, the projections that I have on YieldMight, which these are not guaranteed, it's based off of what the latest distribution was. So if there was a lot of implied volatility and it's a larger than normal distribution, it's going to look like you have more money per month. And the opposite is true as well. But this is, and you can change the number of shares, you can change the distribution if you want to mess around with what you think is going to be an average distribution, and then you can hit the refresh button. So if you're like, I want to do my projections, but Goldie only pays 10 cents, and they're like, okay, well, now I'm done. I want to see what it was to begin with, and you can refresh it. So I exported this, and then I imported it into here, and I wanted to keep what was actually exported up here and not mess around with it. But what I wound up doing was just going onto Robinhood and figuring out what like the current price was for some of these that I was interested in buying more of. So I went and I have the number of shares, the distribution, and I recreated all of the formulas in here. That way I can do additional shares and say like, oh, I need 20 more shares of this. I need 20 more shares of this. Like, what does it look like? How does this change my monthly amount? So, when we took this distribution of, I'm expecting $4,975 per month, I have around a $6,000 distribution. So my deficit is $1,000, which is not great per month now because I made my portfolio more conservative. It's not conservative, but it's conservative for me. So this means that per week my deficit is $238. And if we look at my margin buffer has been all over the place this week. It was at 14%. Today it was at 6%. Right now it's at 31%, which is on track with when I had the goal of my margin buffer being 50%. So we're not going to try it. Well, if I had to, we would buy more stocks, but I would prefer to get more buffer and slowly get more stocks and, in a more systematic way, get into the positions that I want to in order for this portfolio to be sustainable. But I do need to get $238 more per week. So I was trying to figure out, like, would I need 200 more shares of this? Okay. So, like, what is going on? But then I was like, wait, I already have options that I'm doing. I I sold all of my leaps for a very small profit, but I do not have the constitution to be doing my own leaps, and I keep forgetting that. And so I overestimated my competency in doing leaps, and I was doing it aggressive, and if I just like chilled out this week, I would not have lost any money, but I lost a lot of money. So I sold the leaps except for one, and I invested in YSpy and QLDY, which both of those I have my reservations about, different risk factors. But the problem that I was facing is I sold NVYY, which had like 101% distribution rate, and PLTW, which has a 40% distribution rate. So together, that's like a 70% distribution rate. So I'm trying to figure out how, like, I can buy more QLDY because it has a 25% margin buffer, but if I only have a 31% margin buffer, do I really want more QLDY? So, and I also sold XBTY, which has 100% yield as well. So I have 3 IBIT contracts that I am going to do the wheel on. And when we looked at IBIT in the option contracts, and this will be, from week to week, this will be fluid for what it is. But I was saying maybe I'll shoot for having $100 average, because if I'm selling a call, I can do it really close to the money, and then one like a little further out of the way, just so it averages out to $100, and then have one for the most part that is like just in the money, and also have that be about $100. So the 3 contracts that I'm doing with IBIT from what I sold from XBTY, that'll get me around $300 a week. I am thinking I'm going to be selling calls on the Misty that I do own, and selling puts, so maybe $60 a week, so $30 per contract. We will see if that works out, but we could average that down. Like maybe we have $40 a week for the Misty, and maybe it's $75 times 3 for IBIT. So then the GDXY, I'm going to do 2. It'd be $5 each, and it costs a penny to close it, so $8 a week. And then my SPY, which I was doing 1 leaps, and I was doing it really out of the money, and I was getting $30 a week, and I was happy, and I won them. So I'm going to say maybe I get $30 a week with my SPY leaps and just be done with it. So if I get $30 a week for my SPY and everything else, then I should be getting is this the deficit per week? So this is the monthly deficit. Okay. And so, and then weekly equals, well, it equals this minus this. So I should have $64 on average more than what I need minimally for my monthly expenses. So what does this mean? I don't necessarily need to buy more, so I'm messing with my margin buffer, but does mean I am relying more on my retirement account, which I also made more conservative, which will also not be getting as much money from now on, because it's more conservative, so I'm preserving my money. Not conservative, just more conservative. So, yeah. So, I mean, I could, it would be nice if I could have continued to do the $9,000 per month with what I have, but the nav erosion got a little crazy for me. I'm pretty sure, like, maybe next week or the week after, it's all going to go around and all of my leverage plays are going to go ape and I'm going to make all the money back, or would have made all the money back if I had just sat and had patience for another however long. But to me, because I'm relying on this, having it be more conservative is better for like my anxiety levels. But I think what I could do, oh, that's almost no money. Okay, I could probably buy 100 more shares of both GLDY and GDXY. That's $3,000. I have a like a $24,000 buffer, I believe. Yeah. So I can spend $3,000 more, and that way I have almost $100 of buffer that I don't need to necessarily 100% make this, and I could always just do like another option or two of Misty just to bring in a little bit more money, because obviously I'm not bringing in another like $750 a week to pay off my credit cards early. But I think for the future, for like me doing this sustainably for years, that this at least sounds more sane. And then what I can do is in my dividend tracker, I will basically say like in gold, and this will be GLDY and GDXY. Eventually it'll be KGLD, but and then S&P at 500, and that really should be SPY, but maybe it'll be SDTY and XDTE for now. And then we'll do inverse, and that will be YQQ in winter. And yeah, that's about it. So basically, like maybe 30% in this and that, and so one does that equal 100? 30, 60. I'm pretty sure that does not. That equals way more. 30. Oh, that's what. And then 15 and 15. So we would have 50% of everything that goes into my, like, from my Roth account. Maybe like, so if I have like $1,000 I'm putting into my Roth, I would just take this equals this divided by 2, and then do equals this times that. I'm not sure if this even makes sense, or if anyone's following me right now, but basically it would be every week that I bring in $1,000, I'll put $125 for into GLDY, $125 into GDXY, and $75 into SDTY, $75 into XDTE, $50 into YQQQ and $50 into winter. And that means that what I am investing from my retirement account is more sustainable than what I was doing. And yeah, like it's not going to be fast, but in this way I can recover my margin buffer eventually. I'm not even sure how long it's going to take, but eventually I'll get to my $15,000 a month goal. It just won't be anytime soon. In the springtime, in May, I'll have to look and see if I can open up a 0% credit card that I can transfer for 24 months, or if I need to just yank money out of my margin buffer and pay it off all at once. So, if there's only so much that I can do with the amount of money that I have, and if I'm too aggressive and I'm too stubborn about keeping my money that aggressive, eventually I would have no money, and having no money and no job is not amazing. So hopefully now I can do, the 3 contracts from iBit, the 2 contracts from Misty. Like, I can just do all this on Monday and not look at it and go back to just making YouTube videos and publishing the thing, the subscription for YieldMight, and hopefully you all will support me with that. Because, like, what I want to be able to do, because I like having this just local, because you like me, but nobody needs to know how much I have in my portfolio. But when you're subscribed to the deluxe version, I'll have the ability to save this to the cloud. That way, if you don't want to input this information manually on every device that you check YieldMight on, then it would be consistent across devices. So that's the first feature that I would do that's like a deluxe thing, because otherwise this feature works for free, but it would be nicer if because it's not as convenient to do like on your mobile device, to like download the CSV and fill it all out and upload it all at the same time, and it's consuming and is easier with 2 monitors. So anyways, yeah, it's been a pretty stressful week, but in the end we found a way, which is usually how I work. I obsess, I look over things, I try something out, it doesn't work, try something out, it doesn't work. But overall, I'm feeling much better. I felt really good on Tuesday, and then Wednesday was awful. Today was also bad. So I'm going to record how much money I lost, and we'll all be horrified when I do my monthly review of everything. But I think going forward, this is going to work much better. I'm also going to wind up putting a stop loss on the YSpy. That way I don't lose like 30% of my portfolio. It's not fun. So, yeah, I'm really glad that you all are able to witness this is kind of like binge eating, where like I've been denying myself making changes to my portfolio, making like, and just kept denying it. And then I made a change, and all of a sudden I'm making all the changes to my portfolio. But I'm glad you all are getting, my portfolio, how it progresses and it evolves over time. So yeah, YSpy is a yield boost. I don't even know which of, it's a 2x. It sells puts on a leveraged and it's been yielding about a 50% yield. I've been pretty happy with it. What is the underlying for this? Because is it UPro? It's stuff I would do if I had enough money to do the actual options wheel. I just don't, I don't have enough money to do it and do it effectively. And this is the distribution calendar, yes. I'm probably skipped over it. Okay, this is the distribution calendar. Fun details, maybe? Yeah, they're using SPXL, not UPro, but they're the same thing. It's a 3x leverage SPY, and I've had it for a really long time in my Roth IRA, and when the SPY goes down, it goes down twice as much, but the SPY usually goes down like 1 or 2% at a time and not like 40%. So, and you're getting a 50% distribution. So, any money I have left over, or any money I'm getting from my Roth, I will use the formula that I'm going to put it in my distribution tracker, the formula, and just put, the 60% or 50% in gold, 20% in, well, whatever, 30% in the S&P 500, and 20% in inverses, and just build up my portfolio so that everything makes sense and is sustainable for the long run. So, yeah, thank you all. I'm sorry that I didn't do the LFG versus blocks, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow. And I'll talk to you all. There are a few other things too. Sorry for cutting myself off. I just wanted to say thank you so much, Brian, for joining the team and making your bad financial decisions together with me. And everyone who is an OG with Shane O'Mac, Eric, Russell O'Mahony, Paulette Pierre, Scott Behringer, Michael Holliday, Bill Bryant, Patrick Spalding, BGP Automotive, in my opinion, and Jetta, and Omega Werewolf X. You all are amazing, and you're helping me make my YouTube channel and YieldMight more sustainable. So you all are amazing, and I appreciate you. So how was your week? And I will talk to you later. Bye.